Hey everyone, I'm Ian Douglas, the author of the website techinterview.guide. I do live streams every Sunday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern about topics relevant to interview preparation for the tech industry. I occasionally record longer Q&A sessions, and I've started to break those into smaller videos to post. And there'll be information at the end of this video about how to get in contact with me if you have additional questions. Let's get to it. Influence anything or not. Next one on the list, what are some good questions to ask during final round interviews in engineering? I think I want to basically do a whole topic some Sunday night on like what kinds of questions we should be asking as part of the interview process. You should certainly be asking questions as part of the company research. So as you're getting to know someone at the company, or meeting people that know about the company, asking questions before you ever get into the interview, I think is important. Once you're in the interview, you certainly want to have questions for them. One of the biggest things you don't want to do is when they say, "Do you have any questions for me?" and you say, "Nope." It shows that you haven't done maybe as much research, or you haven't put a lot of thought into that kind of thing. So I would always have some kinds of questions, and I'm going to go into like what kinds of questions in another stream, but just really briefly, just to answer this one, like what are some good questions to ask? I think it depends a little bit on who's interviewing you in the moment. If it's a kind of a peer engineer, like someone else on the development team that you're going to be working with, you could certainly ask them like what their day is going to be like, although that's starting to get a little cliche. But you could ask, what do they like about their job? How long have they been at the job? What keeps them there? I was actually asked that during an interview, and it blew me away that someone thought to ask me that. You could ask, what about your day-to-day process do you really enjoy? What part of that process do you not enjoy? For the things that you don't enjoy, why haven't you changed it? Or why haven't you asked to change it? You could ask those kinds of things. Do you like the technologies that you use? If you could introduce a new technology, what would that be? Can you tell me a little bit about the last code review that you did? Or what would mentorship look like between you and I if I join the team? Would you be involved in mentoring and sort of onboarding me as a developer? Those would be kinds of good questions for a peer engineer. I would say if it's a manager, director kind of role, you could ask about the role itself. Like, is this a backfill? Am I filling in for someone else that left? And can you speak to why they left? They probably won't say a whole lot about it. Honestly, in my experience, HR will be pretty hush-hush on like, don't tell anybody the reasons why so-and-so left. But you could just say, or they may say something like, "Oh, that other person, they resigned for a different opportunity." They're probably not going to tell you like, "Oh yeah, they were grossly incompetent and we fired them," because that would border on privileged information. So you're probably not going to get the whole story. But you could ask whether it's a new role, like are they building a whole new team, or is this kind of like a replacement, or what we call a backfill. You could also ask questions of management, like how often could I meet with you to make sure that I'm meeting your expectations when I'm onboarding? This isn't meant to be like, how often can I check in with you to make sure you're happy with me so I can ask you for a raise? This is just, you're going to have some expectation about how my onboarding is going to go. How often are we going to check in to make sure that I'm on track? You could ask those kinds of questions to management. And when I get into more of these questions in another show, I think I'll talk about the kinds of questions that I would ask both, and then how I would compare those answers. So we'll get into that another time. Hey, thanks for watching. I love helping people out with interview prep, and I hope this video helped you in some way. If you found this Q&A useful, please consider subscribing. You can follow me on Twitch as well for the live stream twice a week. Check out techinterview.guide/streaming for more information. I also have a daily email series that you can subscribe to on the website. There are never any ads, and when you finish the series, I scrub your information out of my database permanently. Finally, if you have a question that you'd like answered on the stream, you can find my contact info on techinterview.guide. I prefer LinkedIn or email. If you leave your question in a YouTube comment, it might take me longer to find it, but I'll see you next time.